Like we got to be fair. I might be critical of certain play styles I don't like. We got to be fair and realistic here. That was an insane.
That's crazy.
That was
They
insane.
So you want to convince us that you're not an SGA hater because you defended him one time?
I also defended that. Again, I have my own issues with like the way I feel like the refs do shit, but last night I don't think was an example, and that was because OKC as a whole. Again, when you are specifically with centers, like the job is to be physical, and they were being physical with them, so I didn't have an issue with that. The shit that I hate about SGA, and I don't think it's a hot take, is like, bro, you went like the jump shot. You don't gotta fall the damn time, dog. You don't gotta sit there because you ain't gonna make the shot. Sit there and start looking funny and like kicking your legs out. I was told the NBA, Adam Silver had a whole press conference about the shit. Hey, yo, we ain't gonna do it. The leg kicking your shit out and like hitting the defender. Like we gonna stop that. Them niggas enforced that for about a week and a half.
So is your beef with SGA or is your beef with the refs? Because like, would the beef be the same if they didn't make the calls?
If they didn't make the calls, he's a different player. He's a different player. Like that's just objectively true. Like he has been. There's a stats guy I follow, and it's like.
So your beef really with the refs? That's what I'm saying.
I don't. There's some. It's kind of a mix because you also.
Because I didn't watch him get some bullshit call like where ain't nobody touched him, and they called the foul. I mean, but that's the game now.
Because them and they flop, and that's like the
and I'm not the shade. I'm not the SGA fan. But shout out to that nigga.
Like they just I don't care for like the over excessive flopping. But again, it don't mean you not a great player. It just means also too like historically, like they're killing right now the guy who voted for Jokic over Wemby for All NBA, and his logic was, well, originally he votes by position, and like because. If you go back, like there's a lot of odd center first team All NBAs because it's always been dominated by one guy. It's like Shaq's got a bunch of them. Wilt doesn't have a bunch of first team All NBAs because of Bill Russell. And he's like, you're going to have niggas who have multiple first team All NBAs, but it's going to look weird historically because these old centers were never allowed that. David Robinson was fifth in MVP voting, couldn't get on any All NBA team because Shaq, Hakeem, and Patrick Ewing, I'm sorry. Patrick Ewing was fifth in MVP, and David Robinson, Shaq, and Hakeem were the All-NBA guys. And it's like, and so that's his quote-unquote logic, which doesn't really work in 2026. I get it, and I get why people are mad at him, but at least I understand the logic a little bit.
You can't understand the logic. What the fuck that got to do with Wemby?
Because they only changed that rule because Joel Embiid was bitching that he was never a first-team All-NBA guy because Jokic kept getting the first-team All-NBAs. Embiid was bitching, and niggas in Philadelphia were bitching, so Embiid got his All-NBAs and his MVP.
So
where's this going? What are we even talking about right now? What is
historically? Statistically, SGA So there's a graphic that's going around like crazy. SGA is going to join Mike and LeBron as the only niggas to ever go. Potentially, he's obviously got to finish it. But back-to-back MVPs, back-to-back final MVPs. And statistically, he is averaging basically not the 37-point per game Mike, but the Mike that was winning titles, which is that 30-32 range. And he's like 30-32 on the 50% field goal percentage. And I'm like, and there's niggas who are like putting that graphic and see like, oh, he's
Are you going to try to say that historically he won't hold up to Michael Jordan or something like that? Because to but to a nigga that's 12, yes, he will. Which, again, none of this matters.
Stats misrepresenting that.
His stats don't misrepresent how great he are in this era.
And that's what I was about to say. Stats represent like what you did in your era.
Like, Justin, you don't like him, and that's fine. You don't like how he plays basketball, but the idea that he's not great or his greatness won't hold up over time is not true. You want to. You won't say it because it's not true. It would be idiotic, and you're too smart. But you want to say he's not that great.
The comparison that I use, and this is another nigga who I love to defend. I'm a big Dwayne Wade guy. SGA, to me, is much more in line with Dwayne Wade than he is with, and I don't know what, do y'all call Shea a point or a two or a combo? Like, I don't know what position he's really supposed to be.
I really don't even know at this point. I don't think it matters.
Statistically, though, he profiles more as a two, right? But it's like, I think he is more in the D Wade. Sorry, Jerry West, I'm too fucking young to know, but I'm sure you was great, 1-9 in finals. But like, he historically lines up more with D Wade to me. Nigga, how you gonna go in the comments and comment? Well, fuck you. How you gonna sit there and try to act like that shit was slick? Anyway, he is more historically in line with D Wade than I think he is with Kobe and Mike. But he statistically is going to profile damn near above Kobe and just barely below Mike. And I don't think he's fit in that. But I think he is absolutely like on D Wade's level. And I love
Why don't you think he fits in there with Kobe and Mike outside of like, what is it that you think he doesn't profile in there with Kobe and Mike, considering the accomplishments and the statistics? If it's just because you don't want him to, that's fair. That's fine. I can respect that. But don't give me a convoluted lie.
Is James Harden profile like Mike and Kobe if he had 2 titles?
Yes. James Harden was incredible.
I think he's still a tier. I think James Harden is in the conversation with Dwayne Wade. I think he's below D Wade, but like, I think that's the right conversation for him. Versus, I think if you got titles, and again, this OKC team is fucking crazy as far as top to bottom. Like, shout out to them. That's the best team. Individually as a player, I think Harden, SGA, and D Wade is one level. The next level is Kobe, and then above that is Mike. If I'm going like historically guards. For sure.
If James Harden had 2 championships, he'd probably have 2 finals MVPs with a regular season MVP, being one of the greatest scorers we've ever seen. Literally ever seen.
Absolutely.
Sure, Justin. Sure.
But I think also you got to remember too, for James Harden to get 2 titles, that means ain't no Golden State dynasty.
Not correct, but I'm not even profiling him with Steph. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm putting where SGA and Harden are is in like the 3 greatest 2 guards ever. Do we agree on that? 3 great, or I don't know, maybe niggas have Harden over D Wade, but like 3 greatest 2 guards ever as of today, May 20. What the fuck is it? 27th.
7th
is Mike, Kobe, D Wade. Is that still the top 3?
Yes.
Okay. If SGA gets a 2nd title, I think there's a real argument you could profile him as 3rd. Because I think he's going to get another title too, so I think he's going to end up around 3, even potentially 4. But I think that's where, again, the quality of player is that. I think he could pass D Wade. I would be shocked if I ever at one point watching him play thought, I think he is as good as Kobe Bryant or as good as Michael Jordan.
You can real quick, you can maybe not believe that he's a better player, but he can definitely accomplish more, whether you feel he's a better player or not.
No, accomplishments are fine, but we don't outright give the most accomplished, because otherwise Kareem's the best basketball player ever. Kareem's got 6
he might
rings,
be.
6 MVPs.
he might be.
Right? No, did I fuck that up? Is he 6 and 6 or is he 6?
And it's some people that'll tell you Kareem is in the GOAT conversation for a lot of people.
Oh, he's in there, but I'm saying like
But it's about eras. The same way Tony said, like, a 12-year-old right now is gonna have SGA in those conversations. Like,
you need
the niggas back there, the niggas in Kareem era feel like he the GOAT. The niggas in Mike era feel like he the GOAT.
Keep commenting.
The LeBron era niggas.
How do you say I'm scrambling? To me, historic, as somebody who like overly loves basketball history, we all acknowledge Larry Bird as a top 10 player. And Larry Bird has the weirdest profile of a top 10 player.
I don't think we all do. I do. You do. I don't know if Will does. I think for the most part, that's not a unanimous thing. But Larry Bird is like a top 10 player.
To rings for SG. So I'm counting accomplishments. Accomplishments are he's got 2 MVPs. Accomplishments are he's already got 1 Finals MVP. And 1 ring. I think he's a really, really good chance he gets 2. I think there's a really, really good chance he gets 3. Like, legitimately. Replying to the person in the comments. What I'm saying though is like there is a reason why historically like someone like Bird has always been rated so high. Is because there is context to his career of like you just watched him whoop everybody's ass for a 10-year stretch and then his body just failed him. you and I forget when we had it, Tony's like, we had the conversation on Magic. Magic, to me, right now, is probably the third greatest player ever. And when you go watch Magic Johnson, I'm like, I don't think people understand. Like, that was our conversation. Is like, if you look at a 9-year stretch of Magic Johnson, it was like, this nigga was just basically every year in the finals. He was basically every year an MVP candidate, the best team. Like, and that does mean something, like just his play style. But Magic's career, that's the best way to put it. But his stats look weird and it profiles differently, same way Bird's does. Duncan didn't average 20 points per game. And you can make an argument Duncan's is one of the top 5 players ever.